Alright, stop. Collaborate and listen. So the camera didn't focus, so please go with it and enjoy the soothing sounds of my voice.
Hey everyone, it's Stori here, and this is RP Weekly. I'm gonna switch up the whole lineup this week, so just to try something a little bit different and new. I also want to give a quick apology disclaimer about one of the role plays that I included last week in my notable blogs, because between the time of me recording and then editing and queuing the video and posting and it being posted, the roleplay had closed down. So sad to see you guys go. I know I included them anyway regardless, and by the time I didn't really honestly feel like going back and like taking out a section of the video and then reposting it, and it takes a lot of time to do, and I still did want to include them because they were really awesome. So I have my Hufflepuff shirt on and I'm ready to go. So for this week, RP Trends, Tasks Weekly did Asian face claims this week. So promoting diversity there. The next one is I've seen a lot of revamping, and I've actually done some of my own for a roleplay that I'm currently starting up again. So I think it's the whole fall change of seasons or something in the air that's making everyone decide to change things up a bit. Next up, I've noticed this over at least the past couple weeks, but there are a lot of people complaining, specifically to RPHs, that there are a lot of RPs that are opening and then closing pretty much within the next few days after. And while personally I've never actually seen that happen, I don't doubt that it has. And I've noticed that with Drayton at least, because that's been open I think since about maybe beginning of June, I would say. But I haven't gotten a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Interest, I guess, or applications or activity going on. And I'm not really sure what's going on because I'm doing exactly what I do pretty much in every other roleplay, and more. And so I'm not really sure what it is about the RPC and what exactly is causing such a non-interest. And I guess maybe, I don't know if it's because it's a group one or it's because it has an application or what it is, but there's something going on in the RPC. And while I do agree that people need to not open roleplays if they don't have the time or energy or motivation or commitment, willing to commit to, I do feel that there's something bigger at hand there. And so I kind of want to just bring that up into light. And next up I have RP Wishlist. And for this week I have about 4 or 5 things to list, and I'm kind of excited to share them with you. The first one is Princess Protection Program. Now remember, it's a movie on Disney Channel if you haven't seen it, and I know it was a big thing when it first came out and the high time of Selena Gomez and Demi Lovato face claims, but I haven't seen anything really like it since. And while I don't necessarily mean specifically based off that movie, it is a good plot concept to consider. And so I'm going to give that 3 quirkies this week. And next I have a high school role play, but it focuses only on the staff and teachers. And I think that'd be kind of cool to look at, and it's a different perspective and twist to just a standard stereotypical high school role play. So you deal with planning classes and teachers complaining about one student that just is really bad at what he does, stuff like that. And so that I want to give 4 quirkies too. And the next one is this past weekend, possibly actually in one day, I watched the Inhuman web series from Kinda TV. I highly recommend it. I'm going to put a little link to go to it, and so you can just put it on YouTube. They have a playlist and you just go, and it's really good. And so I really would love to see a RP that's based on the world that this show is set in, because it's modern and it has very similar issues that we have today in the real world. So definitely take a look at them. But I want to give this roleplay 5 quirkies because it's a really important plot to me, and I think everyone should watch the show also. And finally I have Hidden Letters. And what I mean by this is, imagine this supernatural happenings in like a town or city, wherever you feel like you want to set it. And these series of letters are sent to specific characters, and it brings them to go on sort of a hero's journey. And so I think this would be a really cool plot. I'm sorry for that, but it had to happen. And so I'm going to give this 4 corgis, because it'd be a cool plot, and I'm not going to lie, I might do it myself one day. So for Favorite Faces this week, I did something a little bit different, a little bit extra, where it's 4 faces for you. So they're all non-binary. So the first one is Jade Willoughby. I believe that's how I pronounce it. And they consider themselves two-spirited, which is the native equivalent of non-binary. They are a model. And secondly, I have Caitlin Alexander, who is from Carmilla. They use the pronouns they and them. And thirdly, I have Skylar Kergill, who is trans male, and he is a YouTuber and singer. And fourthly and finally, I have Alex Bertie. He is a transgender male also, and also a YouTuber. So check out, thank you APS truck. So check out all of them, and now I'm going to move on to the notable blogs, and I have quite a many to share with you. First up is Roleplay, and this one actually is an RPH blog, but they're not English. I believe they're Spanish, but that's okay, because if you have Chrome, or I'm not sure if Firefox does this too, but I know Chrome does it, where they can translate the blog for you, so you can just navigate and do all the things that you want to do. It's pretty much about expressing anything. There's resources on there, they do promos, they do confessions, and it's great if you're not looking for non-English RPs also. And to follow this trend, I have Spanish helpers, obviously, in Spanish. Again, Chrome should be able to translate it. It did for me, or any extension that you get can do it too. What I thought was really, really cool is that they have a master list of RPs, and they're not all Spanish. There are some non-English, there's some English ones too. So feel free to check them out. I think it's a great resource for those that don't naturally speak English and kind of sometimes don't want to have to translate things for themselves in their mind. And next I have Whimsy Flimsy, and this is an RPH. And what was notable about them was that there are a lot of underused face claims there, like Jeremy Irons, or who else? Rachel Wise? I think that's how you pronounce the last name. So they just have a lot of underused face claims that I saw, so I wanted to note them in this list. Also, I really love their username. Next, I'm pretty excited about, it's It's Saint Vladimir HQ, and if you don't know, this is based off of the Vampire Academy series, and they aren't canon characters. They do OCs. They are appless. The plot is that there have been a lot of Strigoi, who are evil vampires who kill humans. Not cool. There have been a lot of those attacks, and so Dampiers and Roy are paired up. Instead of post-graduation, they're paired up sooner than that, so you have that plot to play with. The admins seem really friendly, they're very accommodating, and check them out. And I would love to join it myself if I had the time. Next up is Reawakened RP. And this roleplay is set in the fictional town of Newbury in Oregon. It's set in the year 2044. So the plot is all about these characters, and they're all reincarnations of famous people. Like in their past lives they were famous. I know I saw Emily Bront and Leonardo da Vinci, I believe is what I saw. Or was it Michelangelo? I think it was da Vinci. So this town is actually hidden from anyone who does not have a reincarnated soul, or what they call in this roleplay a new soul. Or I mean, that's what the people without the new reincarnated soul are called new people. It's very confusing in my brain right now. And it gives me a similar vibe of both Haven, if you haven't seen, that's a good show, but also Once Upon a Time, in the sense that once the characters arrive at Newbury, there's a high chance that they are going to be unable to leave. be it supernatural or whatever other means. The characters themselves I found were a very wide variety. I thought it was a really cool plot idea. Instead of, you can explore the history of famous people while also in the modern world. So it's kind of like a fun history kind of thing going on. But they are very well thought out, and so I wanted to bring this notable blog to you guys. And finally, this is one of my favorite ones that I found this week, were WD Academy, or Walt Disney Academy. So it's obviously a Disney RP, and there's this what is that word? Triumvirate? I should probably know how to pronounce this word, whatever. Anyway, moving on. That's run by Maleficent and I believe Jafar, and there's another one, a queen, evil queen. But they wanted to destroy all the Disney realms. And so what has been happening is every so often a student goes in this deep sleep, but when they're reawakened, they don't have their powers anymore. And it's not often enough really to raise alarm, but it is enough that it's kind of noticeable if you looked hard enough, I think. So what it is it has next-gen characters. So you get, like the son of Toulouse from the Aristocats, and if you don't know who that is, go watch the Aristocats right now. It's very important. But their bios, what I loved is they're very rich and in-depth bios, and they have great face name choices, and I really am not gonna lie, I might apply myself. They're, as of today on Friday, from what I can tell, because it might not, I'm going to do a disclaimer that when I post this Sunday, it might change. They're under I guess they kind of lessened their application, so there's only 2 sections that you have to actually fill out. So it's kind of like a giveaway. And the character range is actually they have both Walt Disney Academy and Walt Disney University. So you get high school or college, whichever one you want to do. So for indie RPing this week, I have Ask the Girl Who Believed, and she does a cosplay RPer, and she does Lily Evans and Helga Hufflepuff, and I'm sure she does others, but that's the 2 that I found immediately. And next I have Emertentia Addict, who is a cosplay RPer also, and they do Lucius Malfoy, like the most fabulous and fantastic Lucius Malfoy I've seen. Next I have Tori Alvinci. I apologize. Names are hard. Words are hard. And so this one is a OC character, Gal Gadot face claim, and they are multiverse and multi-ship. And finally for indie role players, I have Southern Pathokinetic, and this is a Jasper Hale from Twilight series, and they are OC friendly and crossover welcome. And so for Twitter RPs this week, I have 3, and I have Westeros High RPG, and this is obviously a modern AU of Game of Thrones. You can join as a teacher or a student. You just have to, they have what I saw is they have an image that has a list of all the open characters that they have available. I believe they are also OC friendly, so take a look at that. And next I have Of the Riverlands, and this is a Catelyn Stark RPer. And finally, for all the notable blogs this week, I have Cursed Eldrizes. I don't know if that's the right pronunciation, but I'm going to go with it. And they are a Rhaegar Targaryen RPer. And finally for this week, I have the Goodie Bag. There's a fall resource master list for if you need to make an aesthetic or whatever your needs are, which I think is great because even though it's like 90 degrees here right now, fall is coming soon. There is a POC face claims starring in fantasy and periods master list, which I think is great, and I actually myself will be taking a look at that later. There's a Netflix template, so you can create a Netflix graphic. There are celebrity inspired fonts. There's a Girl Meets World font pack also, which was really, really awesome, and take a look because I believe that person actually made that themselves, like wrote out the fonts. And that is all for this week. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, share, all that fun stuff. Thank you to everyone who sent messages, who's reblogged and subscribed. It really means a lot to all of us here at Obeco. Have a great beginning of week, end of week, whatever time zone you're in. My name is Stori, and I will see you next week on RP Weekly.